The 6th Education Symposium, organized by the British Council Nepal, took place on February 24, 2023, focusing on advancing inclusivity and quality in teaching, learning, and assessment systems in Nepal. The aim was to bring together government stakeholders, policymakers, administrators, educators, and researchers from various sectors to share perspectives, discuss issues, and identify opportunities to promote inclusivity and quality in Nepal's education system. This year's Education Symposium focused on 4 areas of inclusive and quality school education, which is aligned with the priorities of Nepal's School Education Sector Plan, the Education Policy 2019, and the needs of the 21st century school education system. The symposium discussed the current state of teachers' professional development and the need for teacher development in the context of federalism. The research report launched during the program outlines the status of teacher education and development in Nepal. It provides insight into the needs and constraints of the teacher development system and recommends further strengthening it.
Actually, it is a platform where we discuss about the different ideas and how can we bring innovation in our school. There are so many topics that we have been discussing about the assessment, about inclusiveness in teaching learning, how can we empower our teachers for their growth, and data that presented by the different presenters, and the presentations from all the dignitaries are very informative. That's it.
The symposium provided a platform for discussing issues and challenges around girls' education, from policies to practices, to identify practical takeaways for responsible actors, including the government of Nepal.
I think as women, we understand women's problem more critically because we are also the one who have gone through those challenges. I am in some of the leadership position because even in that position, I also need my peer women to understand me, to help me, because we as a woman and girl, we understand our problem much more better.
I never went out valley from Strucade, so it's my second time in here ATM. So today I am here, I am speaking in front of all of you, and without any nervousness, without creating any complicated situation, with fully confident, Today I am here speaking, and my parents will be proud to me, and I'm also proud to me. And thank you so much, British Council, for giving me this golden opportunity in my life.
The symposium also highlighted the students' right to access the school curriculum in their familiar languages and receive quality English language learning experiences at the primary school level in low and middle income countries.
The 2 little girls speaking at the end, that was very amazing for me. That was wonderful because through British Council support, they hardly knew much English. Now, they were telling their stories without the help of any piece of paper. The peer group learner, the leader at the end. So those 2 young girls who got something from the club.
We were really fortunate to be able to support that program, English and Digital for Girls Education, back in 2017 to 2020. And when you just see that transformational benefit of just how the confidence, the language skills of these young ladies improve, I think it really makes a much more powerful case than any statistic on education. So that was my learning about one of the best ways to communicate progress.
English medium is seen as a method for teaching English. However, we would suggest that there are other methods which are more effective. For example, teaching English as a subject in the classroom alongside other subjects which are taught in Nepali or other languages. What we need to look at is improving that. Improving, for example, the teachers' levels of English, improving their methodology in the classroom, their use of activities, and combining the textbook with real-life situations. These are the sort of things which we believe will really boost students' English. And it's a far more efficient way of doing it without forcing the child to experience 8 hours a day, every day for 10 years, only of English.
Creative education using arts and culture-based approaches was discussed to make teaching and learning more inclusive and relevant. several projects that have used innovative interventions in the teaching and learning process for students, including visual arts, filmmaking, expressing and learning through literature writing, designing, illustrative comics, and other multimedia were showcased at the symposium.
हामी कुनै पनि बच्चाले भोलि तपाईँ पढेर के गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने पैसा कमाउने भन्नुहुन्छ सो द होल हाम्रो होल संसार नै एउटा लिनियर इकोनोमी मोडललाई फलो गरेर दौडेर पछाडि परेर बनिरहेको अवस्था छ यो लिनियर मोडलमा के हुन्छ भने तपाईँ प्रकृतिबाट लिनुहुन्छ छिन्नुहुन्छ बनाउनुहुन्छ अनि त्यो मोडलले के गर्न सिकाउँछ भने फ्याल्न सिकाउँछ किनभने त्यो इकोनोमीलाई जहिले पनि प्रोग्रेस चाहिएको छ प्रगति चाहिएको छ जीडीपी बढाउनु छ यस्तो टक्सिक एन्भाइरोमेन्टमा बनाइरहेको शिक्षा प्रणालीलाई हामीले कसरी फेरि स्वच्छ बनाउने हैन भन्ने अहिलेको प्रोग्रेसिभ एजुकेसनले गर्न खोजेको कुरा जस्तो लाग्यो कि मलाई
I am someone who is very interested in art. I love writing poetry and creating drama and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that art session, and the learning was sometimes small lines can teach you a lot, okay? When the presenter told that there is no limitation but possibilities in expanding art beyond background, beyond limitation, that was my greatest learning, and I even thought of collaborating with these people who are expert in visual art in order to make these art accessible for my community, for our community.
The assessment was another critical area of focus. The symposium presented key findings from the National Assessment of Student Achievement Report, which identified the need to introduce assessment as a core element of the pedagogical process to improve teaching-learning activities. The report identified the influence of examinations on teaching and learning activities and how they mostly prepare students.
विद्यार्थीको कक्षा कोठा र उसको माइन्डसम्म चाहिँ रूपान्तरण गर्ने सवालमा त्यसरी लैजानुपर्छ न कि जीपीए यति आयो र त्यति आएको त्यो गुणस्तरीयता त्यसमा कायम गर्दै गएको र भाषा अर्को भनेको भाषा चाहे इङ्ग्लिस होस् चाहे नेपाली होस् चाहे जुनसुकै भाषा होस् ऊ अब्बल हुनु पर्यो गुड उसमा चाहिँ बेटर हुनु पर्यो सिकाइ उसले सिक्नु पर्यो क्या जे पनि सिक्दाखेरि राम्रोसँग सिक्नु पर्यो व्यवहारमा लागू गर्नु पर्यो प्रयोगात्मक हुनु पर्यो.
Overall, the symposium allowed education stakeholders to discuss issues and challenges related to teacher development, inclusive education, assessment, and innovative education. It also allowed researchers and practitioners to share evidence and experience related to these areas. The symposium aimed to identify practical takeaways for responsible actors, including the government of Nepal, to advance inclusivity and quality in Nepal's teaching, learning, and assessment systems.
र इभ्यालुएसन सिस्टमै चेन्ज गर्नु पर्यो हामी एकातिर आर्टलाई यत्रो भ्याल्यु दिइराख्दा अल्टिमेटली एसईको रिजल्ट जे हुन्छ त्यसैलाई नै पेरेन्ट्सहरूले मान्ने गर्नु भएको छ सो मेबी यो सिस्टम असेसमेन्टको सिस्टमलाई पनि हामीले अलिकति रिवर्क गर्नुपर्ने हो कि
And ensuring that when we talk about gender, we're not just talking about males and females, but we're talking about cross-sectoral issues like what about girls from ethnic communities who have a disability? So there should be targeted cross-sectoral programs like that from development partners.
एउटा नयाँ कुरो आयो टिचरको पनि कम्पिटेन्सी इभ्यालुएसन हुनुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा आयो अब त्यसलाई पनि गभर्नमेन्टले चाहिँ टिचरको कम्पिटेन्सी नै टेस्ट गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरो पनि आयो हाम्रो ग्रुपबाट त्यही अनुसार अनि त्यो टेस्ट गरेर अनि टिचरको क्यापासिटी डेभलपमेन्ट गर्ने कुरा आयो र नन कग्निटिभ एस्पेक्ट्सहरूलाई पनि असेसमेन्ट गर्ने जस्तै हामीले इआरओले 21st सेन्चुरी स्किलको कोलाबोरेटिभ स्किल थिङ्किङ स्किलहरूलाई हामीले चाहिँ असेस गरेका छौँ त्यस्ता स्किलहरूको पनि असेसमेन्ट
I'd like to say a huge thank you to all the participants, all our partners who supported us in organizing this successful 6th symposium. We had rich discussions and debates, and we're really looking forward to taking those actions forward and having fruitful discussions and debates on how we can improve the education center in Nepal.